Hello, everyone, and welcome to TimeBlazr Tuesday. We are on episode number 12, and I just want to encourage you to just sit back for a few minutes and learn how you can have the most impactful week by using the metaphysics of the ancients for modern times and modern applications. So if you've got a week that you're not sure just with the overwhelm that's happening, let's find a couple of good dates for you to really capitalize with the TimeBlazr. So I just want to let you know that the TimeBlazr is a system that has been around for centuries, and actually it was created for the affluent. It was created to have more power and more influence. And so as a lot of us are using this energy to, whether it be like a YouTube channel or LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever channels that you're on, or through your blogs, that you are actually looking to influence people and have them listen to you, right? Well, if you're going to start something and put something with a lot of effort behind it, what I would really encourage you to do is start any important endeavor on a good day and a good time that matches you. And that's exactly what my TimeBlazr system does. It really helps you navigate through time and really find really good pockets of time. Even if you had 1 or 2 hours a day that were the most vibrant, wouldn't that be a lot better than just knocking your head up against the wall and not being able to even get anything done or accomplished because you might have launched things on during a challenging time. So let's head on over to what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to show you a brief, what we're going to do is we're just going to do a brief summary of what we're going to be talking about today. So I always look at doing a week at a time. So I just really want you to start planning out, and what we're actually at a point, we're at a transition point where we're going from July 28th to August 4th, but we're still what's in called the goat month. So we're still operating on that vibration, and we'll get into that a little bit when we go to the pieces about the TimeBlazr. Okay, so what I would love for you to do first, if you are new to my channel, is of course to subscribe, share, comment, and like, because it is people like you that can help bring more of this information to a free platform like this. So the thing that I really would like you to understand is that I practice classical Feng Shui, and classical Feng Shui really is looking at person, space, and time. So the person is your business astrology, which, by the way, I do target more business than I do personal, but there are obviously personal applications to everything. So what are we working so hard for? Obviously, it is to have a better life. So your personal endeavors also are important to this information as well. So what we do is we look at the space, we look at the person, what's happening, are things going really well for them, or are things a little bit more challenging? Then the next place we go to is the space. And so we look at the space, and by the way, I'm just in a few minutes after I finish this YouTube live, I'm also going to talk more specifically about, because they'd just be too long if I put them all into one. So we're also doing the goat month on how you can capitalize on the best energies within your space, whether it's one room or an entire building. So I want you to stay tuned for that as well. So we'll talk more about the space in my next video. But really the thing that you really have most control over, believe it or not, you're already born, your destiny is set. How you play your chart, that's really important, obviously. How you use your space, absolutely important. But you know what? One of the things that you do at this point in time, because you are living in and working in the spaces that you are at, and you are up to this point using your chart to the best of your knowledge, and there's always things to learn along the way, right? But what you can do absolutely with 100% control is choose the right day and the right time to trigger this energy. And that really is the crux of what the TimeBlazr is finding that personalized energy that impacts you, impacts your business, and impacts your clients, therefore impacting the world. Okay, so let's go back to our presentation here. And you know what? Let's head on over, I think, to the portal. So this is the TimeBlazr, and this is the month view. Let me get a couple of things out of the way here, and hold on just a second. a second here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so what we're going to be looking at here is the TimeBlazr, and this is the month view. And the month view has quite a few things going on with it, as you can see. We have colors, we have stars, we have icons. So just for a second, I'm going to go to the top of the screen here, and I am going to click on none, and I'm going to take those icons away just so I can explain a little bit about what's going on this calendar. So again, remember, this is a personalized calendar, so I'm just showing you a demo right now of a person that we use to demonstrate the TimeBlazr. But as you can see, we have green days and white days. Whoops, we went a little bit too fast there. We have green days and white days, and what we're trying to distinguish is good days for us to do our important activities, right? So we're going to start looking at the 29th through the 4th. So I'll just talk at the lower part of your screen. Just look on, we're actually recording today on the 28th. And so if you want to hear about the 28th, that would be in last week's video, because I talk about from Wednesday to the following Tuesday. The reason I do that, we've got too many people in too many different time zones, and I want everyone to capitalize on this energy. So as we're looking at the month of July, and then we'll go into the month of August here in just a second, but let's just talk about the differentiations. Now, we start with we start at a basic system for everyone. So everyone is going to have the same green and white days, if you will. They're going to have the same, if you will, look on the 29th, it says full. That's the type of day. And over the course of each and every week, I cover all the 12 different descriptions, and I'll do that even today of the days that we're going to be talking about. So what we have is the white days really mean void of color, that the formulas within each and every one of those days are going to be a lower vibrancy. So when we have a lower vibrancy, we don't really want to do that important launch. We don't want to assign that important contract. So really, it is about having a little bit of patience and understanding that when it's time to take action, that's why we have these calendars, so we can plan ahead, so we know the exact steps that we're going to need to take. Okay, so that's for the white days are lower vibrancy, so we don't really want to do launches on that day. The green days now take on a different vibrancy, and it is going to start saying that the energy of the day has a certain vibrancy because it hits a certain criteria. Boom, we made it green for you. So just at a glance, you can tell a more positive, energetic day to the more lower energy, if you will. Now, the second step that I want you to look at in the TimeBlazr is that we have what's called a star system. And the star system is now the thing that astrologically is going to start telling you that how vibrant the day is for you. So the highest number of stars would be 5. The lowest would be 0. You're rarely going to see a 0 on the calendar, but occasionally you will. And then, then it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the highest is 5, lowest is 0. So then that's the next filter that we start looking at. Look for a green day with the most stars. And then what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add back all of those icons. But truthfully, if you want, and this is what I would love for you to do, and when I show you August, this is where I want you to start thinking about on your TimeBlazr. Please don't use this demonstration one because it is programmed to this person personally, and we want you to be able to have access to that. We'll give you a 30-day free trial, and I'll tell you how to do that. No credit card is required, so it's pretty easy to get access to this for 30 days. But here's the trick of this, is when you're looking at a month view, what I want you to do, now we only have a couple of days left in July, but when we go over to August, what we're going to want to do is look at the green day with the most stars with the most icons. Now these icons, you can filter these as well. Again, you would take off the none, and then you would start filtering in. Let's say that between this week and into the month of August, you're going to want to start a campaign. So what I want to do is, here's a campaign. So we're going to launch a campaign. Maybe we were going to do it with some people. So we're going to hit the partnership one. And, we're going to be doing some marketing, right? So then that's what you're going to want to select, and that's all that you're going to want to see. So then we start seeing those go through into the calendar. Now, this is where I want to show you that this actually translates over to the next month, and it's just showing those icons that you want. Again, what we want to look at is highest number of stars, highest number of icons for the activity that you're going to be doing. So this person has the 3rd, the 4th, even the 7th if you're working on weekends. The 9th is pretty nice, and the 28th as well. So that's how you're going to be planning out your strategy. There's so many other things within this TimeBlazr I can show you, but let's go on to talking about the week as a whole. So again, I'm going to go back to the month of July. So you just toggle back at the top of the screen. And then let's start going into the days, and I'll tell you a little bit about each and every one of these days. So this is what the TimeBlazr looks like on the inside, and I'm going to again show you a couple of things that are general to everyone, and then I'm going to show you what the personalization will bring to you and your effectiveness as a business person. So obviously the day of the week is the same for everyone, and then we're going to skip these 2 boxes right under that blue bar that says Wednesday, July the 29th. That's your personalization, but I do want to wait and talk to you a little bit after. So again, now it's saying that this is a white day, don't have the highest vibrancy here, so I do have to take some caution. It's going to tell you what type of day it is. So this is an unfavorable full day, and I'm wondering if I just zoom in on that just a little bit, if you can see that a little bit better. So this is a unfavorable full day. So a full day means that basically the cup is full, if you will. And even if you empty it, whoop, automatically it just continues to be full. Now, what you really have to watch out on this day for, because it's an unfavorable day, it is indicating that you might have some burnout because you're just going to be constantly working, constantly trying to fulfill something that you promised in the past. So what I want you to caution, if you're going to be signing a contract, wouldn't sign an important contract on this day because it's unfavorable. But if you have a big contract that's coming up, I would look for a better day to do the signing, but you certainly could work on this day. So, and then it's going to tell you what type of day it is. It's a yin water rooster day, and this is where some of these stars and these icons that you're seeing on this view, that's the thing that is personalizing to your natal chart. And then the positive influences are, I've done them in pretty standard business English of the meanings of what they mean, but if you do feel that you want a little bit more information, all you need to go is to the training tab once you have the free version. Here's some training videos, obviously, and then here's some guidebooks that can tell you. Just go to this glossary of term guidebook 3, and then you can look up the information there. You know what, while I'm on these kind of other tabs, I'm jumping around with you a little bit today, sorry about that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you how the TimeBlazr is also programmed. So this is the astrology chart. There's tons of information on here, but as far as the TimeBlazr is concerned, we are only looking at the year, month, day, and hour of birth, if you know it. Now, I realize some of you don't know your hour of birth because of adoption, records got lost or misplaced, or someone is no longer living like your parents to actually tell you when you were born, or even if they are, sometimes they don't remember. So this is a pillar that you really won't be able to use, is the hour of birth. But the year of birth is about your brand, your reputation. It's about your networking. Networking is very important in this climate that we're in right now. So what networks are you looking at? And, at this point in time, because of the pandemic, it's very easy to literally travel around the world and look for different networking opportunities. So if you are someone who definitely wants to bring about some international business for yourself, then, start doing some networking around the world. Your month of birth is about your career and your character. What's your best suited at doing? The day of birth is about your personal growth as well as your partnerships. And it's also about your kind of your mindset. And this is one that I really want you to think about is how is your mindset through this whole pandemic that we're going through? Is it positive or are you mostly negative? If it's mostly negative, that's one thing that can definitely collapse all of your good work. So if you need to work on some personal growth, if there's ever a time to do it, it would be now. The hour of birth is definitely about your life purpose. Legacy is another way of looking at it, and your brainstorming, your R&D, your research and development. So it's a very important pillar as well, if you happen to know it. All right, let's go back to that day. I think we were talking about the positive and negative influences. So the information in these two boxes of the positive and negative influences are a compilation of information that we have to overlay where, if you can see where it says the rat hour at the very top of the screen here, that we have established authority, wealth accumulation, and travel block. Well, really what that's saying is I need to take that information plus the positive and negative influences here. So it really is, you're going to have to start looking at what is the pieces of the puzzle for you to make informed decisions. Okay. All right. So now let's look at the hours, and the hours, always looking, when I'm looking at this gray column that starts with the rat and then it finishes with the rat at the end of the day. So in the Chinese calendar, what we have are 2-hour time slots. So those always go in a sequential manner as well. So the early rat, which is really like just right after midnight, and then the late rat is at 11 o'clock at night. Those are the only 2-hour split. The rest of them that, it goes from the ox, the tiger, the rabbit, et cetera, those go in 2-hour time slots, and every day those repeat that pattern. That never changes. Basically, it's the 12 animals of the zodiac, and those always repeat in the same pattern as well. And really, that's kind of the nice thing to know about Chinese metaphysics is that we can predict all of this because it is a repeatable pattern. Now, you may have to wait some time before that pattern repeats, but we do know with certainty when you start adding and combining certain animals, they're going to behave a certain way. When you start adding certain years, for example, we're in the year of the metal rat, and how does that behave with your chart? All of these things we have to take into consideration. But what we're doing with the TimeBlazr is we're taking all of that type of thinking out of your head. You don't have to become a practitioner. What we want you to do is for you to actually look at this calendar and know with certainty we've already figured out the astrological piece. What you need to do is figure out what business activities would match the type of day that you're choosing to launch on. Okay, let's go back to the portal here. And so we talked about this first column, which is the hours. Those will happen every single day at the same time. Then the next row is what we talked about. Let's come down to an area where we can maybe see like during the day where we have let's say like the dragon and the snake and the horse. Okay, we're in that kind of morning to midday hours. So as you can see, there are a couple of different ways that the hours or the information about the hours show up. So if you look at the horse hour between 11 a.m. and 12:59, you can see it's all positive. It's blue in color plus a plus sign. So if you're looking on a tiny screen, just look for the blue, I guess. And then the next type of energy that's going to show up is the plus and minuses. So it's going to be the blue with the red and then a minus sign there. So that's saying that the energy is mixed. Now let's look at the monkey hour and or the dog hour. That's between 3 and 4:59 or 7 and 8:59. And that is where we're going to see all challenging energy. So what I want you to do there is not use where it's all challenging. You can make a choice on whether or not you want to use the mixed, but you really want to avoid that challenging for your important activities. Okay, now let's get to the personalization piece of this. So the biggest difference on the personalization is those stars. Again, look at the top left-hand corner where it says Wednesday, July 29th, and then you have the stars. Now the stars are going to tell you what level of information that, now remember, this is an astrological energy chart. So what I want to really impress upon you, it's the animal signs that are connecting with you. It doesn't say because it's an unfavorable day or all the information within the day that I'm talking about on whether or not it's a full day or a remove day, or is it cash infusion where we bring, we put some cash in to get something back, or wealth accumulation where we're actually getting our receivables at this point. This is very different. Now, what I want you to understand, it's the animals of the day, because really when you think about it, the TimeBlazr is a birth chart. It's like a birth chart, but how does that connect with what's in your chart? That's the real important distinction that I want you to understand here. Okay, so what we're looking at is, this is for this particular person. Yours could be 0, could be 1, it could be, a different number. Then it's going to show that there's 4 stars for this particular person. Then the next piece is the icons. All of the icons, not the ones that you pre-selected. All of those are going to come through on the debut. And then, so it's going to tell you, wow, this is a pretty high vibrant day for a lot of activities, but it's unfavorable, but let's see if I can use it anyway. So then what we are going to be looking at, again, remember that the hours are named by the animals in the zodiac. So when you see these stars, and they will be either neutral, like we have in the dragon hour, means no connection to you astrologically, or when we start looking at the snake hour, on this day, it's a 1 that connects with you. Then it's 2 during the horse hour, and then 3 during the goat hour, etc. So here is really what I want you to think about. If you have important activities to do on this day, tomorrow, we're talking about tomorrow. If you're listening to this live, if you happen to pick it up a little bit later, no later than tomorrow though, because then once this day is gone, it's finished. The energy is finished. So here is an important point though too, is most of my collateral, and I'll let you know if this is kind of a save for later, watch later, my information is very time sensitive. The reason why I put out time sensitive information is that I really want you to start taking action now. If you want to start reversing your business into a direction that's flowing much with more ease, you're getting better clients and things like that, you have to act now. You can't wait till tomorrow. Well, you can, but you see what I'm saying. We're going to choose the best days for you that you can do, your important activities. But I really want you to understand that when you take this information seriously, and if you came to my annual event and heard what I said at my annual event about, we're going to be wearing face masks, we're going to have a financial crisis, we're going to have a real estate crisis, especially in business. Boom, it's all here. So we really do need to act now. There's no better time to get your life back in the right direction than today. Okay, so what we're looking at then, let me go back, because we've got on live stream, we've got to change over so many times here. So where the person's best opportunity, what I would say, is going to be during that horse hour, which is 11 a.m. to 12:59 p.m., or the rooster hour between 5 and 6:59. Now, you also have the tiger hour very early in the morning, 3 to 4:59. What do you do with that? You can use autoresponders to send out things during that time. But I propose that if you work during even just those 2 hours, 11 to 12:59, if you do not want to work from 5 to 7 at night, at least if you're going to be sending out like a batch of emails or picking up the phone to call because you want to close some sales or do some marketing or do some outreach, I would say really be very prepared and do it between 11 and 1. If you use the other time slots, okay, you're going to have this mixed energy. You just have to understand what that energy is about. Okay, we're going to speed it up here now because really everything that I just told you is really going to be the same on each each and every one of those days. So what we're going to do is I'm going to briefly talk about the type of day it is and if there's any differentiations on any of the days for you to start thinking about them a little bit differently, okay? All right, so let's go on to the 30th. And as you can see, this is a green day. All right, so it's a favorable day. And on the green days, you're going to see a level of excellent, which is going to be the highest vibrancy, favorable, and then fair. So on a green day, as you can see, it shows up a little bit different. It's giving you that indication right away that this is a much more vibrant day. For this person, though, it's only a 2-star day, but still, it's still connecting quite nicely, so I still would use it. And then we have all these icons right below that is saying that, you know, they could do a number of things on this particular day. Now, do watch out when you see this little road sign, roadblock here. That's just saying that really you should take a step back a little bit and not push so hard. So, you know, if you are doing a meeting, be very flexible with this. Okay, a favorable balance day is saying that it is there's balance in the day. So this is a great day to bring equanimity to your business. If you're working with a team, if you want to share the responsibility, then this is a good day to do balance. Now, if you are thinking about, and you know, I'm sure it's a little bit too late to say, oh, I'm going to file. Well, maybe not. If you're going to be filing for some sort of a lawsuit against someone where you feel that you should get 50% of the outcome, and this is an important distinction. If you want 50% and no more, then use a balance day. If you feel that you have more potential or you want more of the cut, do not use a balanced day because the scales of justice will balance and it will be a 50-50 balance, okay? So you do have to remember on the type of day on what you're doing. So on this one as well, the best time slots on the green days, I'm going to actually bump up the hours as well. As you can see, during the tiger hour and the snake hour and even the pig hour, it's all pure energy. So then you need to make the distinction of the time slot for one. Number two, choose the ones that have the purest energy in it. And then again, if you must use these hours that have the mixed energy, or in some cases it may end up being worse, all negative, then you really have to determine, look at those terms and say, do I really want to put up with this or not? And if you don't want to put up with it, then you really need to start thinking, I got to find another day, right? So again, if we can find a good 2-hour time slot within each and every day that's usable, I would delight it. Now, sometimes you're not going to be able to. Those are going to be your more admin days. They're going to be more your content creation. Now, I like to start my content creation on a good day, but if I'm continuing, like I'm writing a book right now, so, you know, I started it on a good day and then I just continue writing it. It would be crazy to say, oh, I can only wait for a good time to write. You trigger the energy and get things started on a good day. And truthfully, I used an initiate day to get that started. Okay, now let's go. Let me go back to our portal here. All right, let's look at our next day here, which is Friday the 31st, and it's an excellent day, excellent stable. Boy, this is a beautiful day here. So what we've got here is the excellent, like I said, is the highest of all. Stable means things are going to be on a stable foundation, so very good for that. We've got, you know, green light, which means go, bright future. Everything is really positive, good money that's involved here. So the unfortunate thing, though, is there's only evening hours on this particular day that are astrologically connected with this person. Remember, it's the star that's connected with the animal of the hour, not the ingredients within the hour. So, but you may say, well, that's a little bit too late for me to, you know, do something. But, you know, it is a Friday night. It could be some sort of evening webinar. It could be, you know, getting together with a group of people. This would be a fabulous way of using this. But, you know, you may want to say, nope, I'm just not going to be up that late for whatever whatever reason to be doing that kind of activity. But you do have between 7 and 8:59. Now, it has zero connection to this person, but it is a positive hour. So I would personally capitalize on using that positive hour and trying to get as much activities done that I can to really get things done. All right, so now we're going into August. Please remember, we are still within the goat month until like the 7th of August is when it switches over. Okay, so on this day we have another excellent initiate day. So this is really great. This is for beginning something new. If you're thinking about, for example, starting a new exercise program, this is great for starting for starting a new habit. If you're trying to remove a bad habit, like I'm trying to take off a few pounds, or I'm trying to get my tush off the couch and start exercising, well, start thinking of ways that you can remove that activity. You would be using a remove day. Like today, the day of this recording, great remove day. And I've been at it since 7 o'clock this morning, stopping to do this recording. But I love remove days to really just like power through stuff I want to put in order or things like that. An initiate day is different. This is where you start the good habit. So if you're starting something new, starting with a new team, this is great for that type of activity. But as you can see on this particular day, we have quite a few negative influences. Now on a green day like this, one of the nice things is that it actually cancels out some of this negativity. But I want you to take note of under the negative influences, you see this word big spender. Now, if this was a white day, I would say take caution and really watch your spending. But when you use big spender on a green day, and obviously it must be during a positive only hour, you can actually use this energy to upsell your clients. This is sort of a secret insider info. You can upsell your clients to your next level of service if it's appropriate. This is a great day to send out a call to action promo video where you would actually be asking for people to take action towards something, obviously a buying decision that you can help them make, because this is energy. Remember, this is energy for everyone. So this is where your goods are going to look good to your clients. So the trick is, though, that you need to send out that invoicing at 5 to 6:59 a.m. on this particular person. And remember, these ingredients of the days do not change. So we're going to have to find the best day, best time to do that kind of activity. But that is a little bit of an insider info on that. Okay, now let's go to the second. We are back to a white day, and this type of day where it says avoid destruction, and you potentially actually could have 5 stars, all the icons in the world. Remember, it's connecting with the astrology, not the contents of the type of how you would be using the day. So this is an avoid destruction, and literally this is, for me, I'm not kind of a destroyer kind of energy, but I know sometimes it does you need to use destruction. But this is actually a good way to like really bust a bad habit, like something an addictive kind of habit, to use that. But I wouldn't use an avoid day. Please hear me when I say this. Try to find a good destruction day that connects with you, that potentially even clashes out a certain animal in your chart, which is that day of birth. When you're in the program, that makes a little bit more sense. But don't use a negative destruction day just haphazardly, because this takes things down just right to the roots. Like if you chopped a tree down, if you would, and it's never going to grow back, a beautiful oak tree, and you chop it down. Now it might have some suckers that try to like grow again, but that is not the original tree, and it never will be an original tree. Destruction days are very good for demolition, like if you're building a new building or something like that, you need to ground break and demo a site. It's perfect for that, again on a good day though. And then another could be used for legal, but I again would never use or file or tell a client to use a destruction day unless it was positive. And the only way I would use a destruction day is if I was going to be using it for a very contentious lawsuit that was, like if you're really being attacked and you feel that you're really not getting, and I've only used this twice in the 20 years that I've been a consultant for legal to benefit my clients that were being taken advantage of. I truly believe wrongfully had a suit against them. And so we used a destruction day to switch that around. All right, let's go on to the next day. Oh, and actually take note also, I guess I'm still on here. Okay, take note also, remember when I said the big spender? We also have a big spender here. Believe me when I tell you, do not be online surfing the net, or if you do, tell me what you ended up doing. Maybe you forgot or something like that it was a destruction day, but you may burn your credit cards that day and just buy and buy and buy and buy and buy. You do not want to be using the big spender or shopping on this day. So try to get your shopping done on another day, but try not to do it on Sunday because you may end up creating some problems in your finances. But, again, between 9 and 10:59, there's, some good opportunities as well as during the dog hour later in the day. Okay, now to Monday. We got 2 more days left very quickly here. Let's go to Monday. Okay, Monday, we're back to a nice favorable day. So as you can see, we've got a new color that I'm going to introduce right here. So it is, let's first talk about the type of day. It's a favorable risk-reward day, and it's also a tiger day. So a risk-reward day basically means that can be high risk, but huge reward. So what I actually like to use this for is, and this may sound a little bit crazy, but I like to use this for like that big kind of pie in the sky client, right? That you're sending a proposal to, or you're reaching out to an influencer. It's like, like go for the no. I mean, like seriously, go for the no. So, I mean, if you don't try, how would you know, right? And I don't feel like I'm a huge risk taker, but in some respects, I am always like pushing the envelope, especially when it comes to energy within the bounds of reason. But, sometimes it is good to do this. Now, another way you can use a risk reward day is to definitely, you're like 99.9% sure that this deal is going to go through, or the offer that you're making is going to be positive, then, go ahead but make sure all of your collateral is just ready to go. Check all of those links and all of that so you have a positive outcome on that as well. All right. And so the other thing that I do want to point out on this one, because we have a different color here, is we have this teal color in the positive influences. And it is because of this term quick action. And this is just telling you at a glance, when you see that teal color, that the energy of the entire day, positive or negative, is going to get a quick response for you. So again, that's why we have to understand when you see the positive and negative influences, we need to match them with the ingredients of each of the hours. But you can see on this day, for this particular person, 5 stars, tons of icons. Great for taking some action towards, maybe a launch of a nice program or something like that. And then what do? Then we overlay it, and we've got a really good opportunity. Look at this goat hour. Beautiful. 1 to 259, 3 stars. We've got mentors, and we've got, so you could either be the mentor or you're seeking a mentor, and then you have sound investment. So we do know that there's money involved in here, very little, negative influences on this day. Tons of beautiful stuff in the day. So that's a day that that's my favorite day of the week for sure, is Monday. You look at yours to see, I mean, even if it doesn't match up with you as positively as this still is a pretty darn good day all in all. So then we're going to go to Tuesday the 4th, and this is our last day of the TimeBlazr Tuesday episode 12. But what we're going to be doing here is seeing that it's a favorable success day. The success days, you can't go wrong with a success day. It's really a beautiful time to, again, send out contracts, to launch products, programs and services, as well as really just starting something out on a very good sound foundation, and do expect success and money as a result of your efforts. So that's what that's all about. And then for this person as well, really nice 11 all the way to 259. And then if you're even going to be sending out some autoresponders starting at 3 o'clock in the morning all the way to 6:59, we also have some really positive energy there. And then we will finish that for right now, and we'll be back obviously next week for the next upcoming episode. So what I want to tell you about as well is that on this same website, the TimeBlazr website, you can find the postings here. We post every single month my review of what the animal is. So we'll have this up for one more week, and then we'll switch over to the monkey, and then we post every week here. We're also on obviously on YouTube and all of the other social platforms as well. So wherever you like to follow me, that's where we will meet, obviously. Okay, and then I also wanted to let you know that I think we're way ahead of those slides at this point. So what I would like you to know is that we are giving away a beautiful 30-day personalized calendar for you. And so all you need to do is go to free30timetrial.com. There is no credit card required. So as soon as you fill out the information for personalizing your TimeBlazr, then it will be in your inbox. So just make sure you whitelist us so that information comes to you, because you don't want to miss a single day. And then, like I said, what I'm doing is I'm also talking about the Feng Shui of the month. So I'm going to close up this one, and we're going to head on over to the TimeBlazr, the Feng Shui fixes, and we're going to be on the last of all of the directions for the month of the goat. So we look forward to seeing you over there. Again, please subscribe and like, share our information, and thanks so much for following us today. Have an amazing week. This was a little bit long today, but it seemed like I wanted to get into some of the more filters today to show you some of the potential, and that was just the tip of the iceberg. So we'll see you in our next video, either next Tuesday or in a few moments for Feng Shui fixes. Have an amazing week. Take care. Bye-bye.